Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Seema Jan and I'm from Standard 8 International School, Baghe Mehtab branch. Today, my topic is on microorganisms, friend and foe. Friend and foe. So, micro means tiny. These are very tiny organisms that can't be seen through our naked or unaided eyes, but we need a microscope mostly to see them, or we can also see them through a magnifying glass like the fungus which grows on the bread. And we are having, they can be our friends at some situations and sometimes our enemies, like they are sometimes harmful to us and sometimes useful. So there are five major groups or types of these microorganisms. The first one we have, it is bacteria. The singular of bacteria is bacteria. So what is bacteria? It is a unicellular disease causing microorganism, which means that it is single celled and it has three forms. Like it can be in a spiral shape, round shape, or in a rod shape. The second one we have is fungi. Fungi, it is a multicellular disease causing microorganism. And the most common examples that we see that we have in fungi, those are yeast, and we have mushrooms too. And the third one that we have is protozoa. Protozoa. So it can be multicellular or unicellular, and it in protozoa we are having an example which is amoeba, and it is also a disease causing microorganism. And the fourth one that we have is algae. It is a multicellular photosynthetic microorganism, and the example that we have in algae, that is spirogyra. And the fourth one that we have, sorry, fifth one that we have is virus. I'm sure that we are well aware about virus, the current pandemic, the current virus that we have that is going all around the globe, that is coronavirus, COVID-19. So what is virus? When it's agents, it is a disease-causing microorganism. It is highly infectious, and when it goes into the host, its host can be a plant, animal, or a human. It starts working there. It is live there. But when it's outside the host, it is not live. So yes, this virus we are having many examples of it. Like we have smallpox, polio, AIDS, and also COVID-19. Now, these microorganisms can be our friends and as well as sometimes they can be harmful to us. Now, let's first understand where they are our friends. Like the microorganisms, they work as natural cleaners. As they decompose the dead bodies of plants and animals, they prepare the manure, which is useful for the soil. And by this, they also are natural cleaners because they are cleaning the environment. And they also help us to produce alcohol at a large scale. Today, we all need alcohol because uh, alcohol is a main actually thing that we are using today, because we are having sanitizers which also has alcohol, which has become a part of our day-to-day life. It's all thanks to microorganisms that we have that thing today, that we can use to protect ourselves from COVID-19. And it's also used in preparation of different medicines and vaccines which are used to cure different diseases. And also food items, the food items that we eat, food items like we are having milk. It helps milk, like to curdling the milk actually, to make milk curd by bacteria. And also baking bread and cakes. And this also helps us to prepare a very useful fuel, which is methane. And also it helps us to make biogas. And the most important thing, it helps in nitrogen fixation, because that is very important. We have rhizobium and blue green algae that also helps in nitrogen fixation, and it protects the environment. It protects our environment and reduces the pollution. And now these are the situation where it is really useful to us, but there are also sometimes it also causes many diseases, like where it becomes our foe. So first one we have, like in humans, there is bacteria. Okay, so what happens? These microorganisms can get into our body through air we breathe in, or through the water, or through the food we eat. And in humans, there is bacteria that causes several diseases in humans. The first one we have is tuberculosis is there is typhoid, and there is cholera. And in cattle, in the cattle we graze, it also causes foot and mouth disease caused by virus in cattle. And also in plants, some microbes, microorganisms, we can also say microbes to them. So these microbes, what they do in plants, they orange productivity or wheat productivity is really reduced because of microbes. And it also causes food poisoning. The food we eat, it also spoils our food. So these are the things where it acts as our enemy. It is harmful to us. And now how to keep ourselves safe from these microorganisms. We should wash our hands, and we can also store some mix, like we make pickles and jam. And also there is also a very important thing that we have, that are antibiotics. Now, if we are affected by any of these disease, what can we do? We can take antibiotics, so that or kills the disease, or makes it really less in our body. So these antibiotics, the first person to discover antibiotics, to invent antibiotics, his name was Alexander Fleming. In 1929, he discovered the antibiotic, the first antibiotic, which was penicillin. And there are also many antibiotics that we have. We are having amoxicillin is there. And now there is another thing, that is antibodies. But antibodies are the things that are present in our body. Antibiotics is the thing that we take inside our body. So, and another thing, we have communicable diseases. Communicable diseases are those diseases that can pass through physical touch. Like if a healthy person is touching someone, infected person, so they can pass to us. Like we have cough, cold, flu. And this is how microorganisms are really important to us. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.